So, you like aluminum fixed gears. Maybe you like the look with their modern, thick, aerodynamic tubing. Maybe you like the boosted stiffness to weight ratio over steel bikes because it supposedly makes you go faster. Or maybe you just have something against riding a bike that has the same properties as a refrigerator. So should you get the Aventon, the Tsunami from Aliexpress, the Leader, the State Black Label, or maybe you're a baller, and for your first aluminum bike, you spring for the 100% Italian, Chinese-made Cinelli? Well, if you're in the know, you'll know that none of those bikes come close to taking the crown for the best bang for your buck in the aluminum fixed gear bike space. That achievement goes squarely to the Dolan Pre Cursa. Shout out to Matt for letting me do a bike check of his Dolan Pre Cursa, or at least one of them. If you want to see his other Dolan, be sure to give him a follow on Instagram at Dolan510. Needless to say, he's addicted to Dolans. But if steel bikes are more your speed, you're in luck because this portion of the video is sponsored by Wabi Cycles. To learn how to get the most fun out of your bike in 180 seconds or less, check out me and Wabi's video series 3 Minute Thursday by clicking the card above or by sticking around till the end of the video. And for the bike that I personally ride on a daily basis, check out Wabi linked in the description. The Dolan Pre Cursa isn't just the best aluminum fixed gear that you can and should buy. It's the best aluminum track bike. It's the best first track bike, period, that you should buy. Unlike a lot of other aluminum fixed gears at this price, that's around $500 for the Frameset, and yes, that is including for the ridiculous bike inflation that we're seeing in 2022. There are absolutely no tweaks or compromises, depending on how you look at it, made to the Dolan Pre Cursa to make it more practical for street use. The Dolan Pre Cursa is a track bike that was designed to be ridden and raced on the velodrome through and through. Constructed out of super stiff, triple-butted 70-75 aluminum with exotic, but not over-the-top external butting for optimal speed to wattage ratios, or whatever it is trackies care about, stuck together with smooth welds to make even the most hardened of track veterans say, "Dang, that's a pretty nice bike." Designed with a true track geometry with a tight wheelbase that has, tolerate it or hate it, a healthy amount of toe overlap. Not to mention the Precursor comes complete with an undrilled brake bridge for extra fixie points to let everyone know that you mean business and never intend on installing brakes on this true track machine, unless you of course want to install a front brake because the fork is drilled. Okay, one concession was made to make it more practical for street use. Speaking of the fork, the Precursor comes stock with a straight blade Alpina carbon fork. Alpina is Dolan's in-house brand, and they're one of the more reliable carbon brands on the market. None of that sketchy midnight shift China carbon here. Precursor also comes with a matching Alpina seat post and headset because, despite being British, Dolan is surprisingly unfussy, and they're not trying to sell you a status symbol. What they're selling you is a tool. A tool that'll get you winning track races as hassle-free and as fast as possible. If you go to Dolan's website, at first glance you'd probably guess that they're just another dime a dozen mid-range bike manufacturer, but lurking just beneath the surface are Dolan's catacombs of national track racing titles, world championship trophies, and Olympic gold medals. Dolan is just so confident in who they are that they don't even have to boast about their achievements. Saying that people win races on Dolans isn't interesting. Bragging about that would be like bragging that people need oxygen. It's just a fact. And the Precursor is the default rental bike at velodromes all around the globe, because it's just that good. If fixed gear riders like to meme with beginners and say, "Oh, just buy a Kilo 2T," the meme for trackies is, just get a Dolan Precursor. It's fast, it's affordable, it's efficient, and it's one of those things where, if you know, you know. This is the Honda Civic of track bikes. And sometimes the most common things are also the most incredible things. Matt's built up his Dolan Pre Cursa for the rigors of climbing hills that look like walls out in the Bay Area, stripped of its paint to purposely make it look stealthier than the already stealthy matte black, and to look shittier to deter the all-too-common Bay Area bike thief. Up at the cockpit, we have a set of ergonomic Cinelli Bullhorns wrapped in plush Supercaz bar tape to allow the rider to get the weight over the front wheel and climb like a billy goat. The bars are attached to a stiff 31.8mm Deda Zero2 stem, or 31.7mm if you're Deda and you're trying to dupe your customers into buying your own handlebars. Slammed, of course, and completed with the Thompson spacer for that extra sprinkling of fixie points. Back at the captain's quarters, we have a matching Deda Zero2 seat post in a tasty two-toned matte and gloss black finish, and sitting on top we have what Matt calls a Specialized Gooch Scoop saddle because he forgot the name of the actual model. Moving down to the pedals, to get all the power transfer necessary to get up those gnarly Bay Area hills, we have a set of clipless Look X Race carbon pedals for efficiency and weight savings. The cranks are the stiff and aero Mikke pistered airs, matched with a Mikke pistered 49-tooth chainring. In the rear, we have a 17-tooth Mikke splined cog for quick cog swapping and to prevent cogs from getting seized onto the rear hub until the end of time. Speaking from experience. And my favorite thing about this entire build, on the other side of the rear hub is a hilariously large 22-tooth EAI cog, or chainring, depending on how you look at it, to get up even the steepest of hills. And I know if you're a mountain biker or a gravel rider, this cog is nothing to you because the gear ratio is still over 1.0, but to us fixed gear riders, this cog is comically large. You know what else is comically large? These hoodies from zachalotto.com/merch, they come in like 3XL. The wheels are fancy pants, custom built head Belgiums for that wide tire profile, cornering goodness that would impress Russ, the supple man himself, with non-machine sidewalls so you can't chicken out and put brakes on this thing even if you wanted to. The rims are laced to arguably the most bomb-proof hubs money can buy because people are obviously breaking hub flanges left and right. Fill woods, and the wheels are wrapped in the ever-reliable 25mm Continental Gator skins. No, I know, it's not the flashiest bike. No, Dolan's will not get you the most fixie points, but for the people that know what Dolan is all about, what they've accomplished, and how uncompromisingly great their bikes are, especially for the price, this bike, it'll get you going. Even if you never ride it, if you know what I mean. If you want to have your bike featured in this bike check series, you can find the instructions on how to do just that in the description. Or alternatively, I host a weekly group ride here in Sacramento every Friday at 5 a.m. And, you know, you could bring your bike over, we could ride bikes, and we could do the bike check afterwards. And fixie family shoutouts to Brandon Black, David K, Deda Zero2, Julian Corona, Ryan Witt, Scott Pelongi, and Zane Kolnick for helping to make these videos possible through support on Patreon. And remember that life is short, but don't make it shorter, so be sure to ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.